Good day everyone, my name is LB Kimada and I am the first reporter of Chapter 8, which is the pricing strategy. We hope that after you listen to our report, you are able to support pricing, its perspective, importance, and objectives. Also, you are able to critique how a price is set up for a product and services. Alamin po natin kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng price. So, kapag po ang product or service ay pinagpalit sa money, yun ay tinatawag na price. Halimbawa po, bumili ka ng damit at yung damit na yun ay nagkakahalaga ng 200. Yung 200 po, yun po yung tinatawag natin na price. As long as binabayaran po natin, tinatawag po yun na price, whether it is a product or services. Ang halimbawa naman po ng services, ito yung mga nag-aayos ng sirang sapatos, sirang washing, etc. A good pricing strategy helps find out the price point at which a business can maximize profits on sale on its products or services. Kapag po magsiset ng prices, company owner requires thinking extensive option of factors such as production and distribution expenses. Also, the competitor offerings. Ano ba yung mga ino-offer ng competitor? Positioning strategies, and its target customer base. You need to consider those things para makuha mo yung good pricing strategy. Siyempre, kasama na dapat doon yung tutubuin mo. Let's proceed in understanding pricing. Price is the word that is assigned to a product or service which a consumer must pay in order to receive it. Normally, any customer will not buy a product or service that is price is very high. Of course, tayong mga Pinoy, mahilig tayo sa mura. Pero gusto natin yung quality rin at masisatisfy tayo bilang isang customer. The set price ought to cover all of the company's expenses, whether you are a small business or a big businesses. Kailangan kapag magsiset tayo ng presyo, dapat masushoulder yung lahat ng expenses ng ating company. Dahil kung hindi nila gagawin yon, malulugi sila. Among the 4 P's, price is the easiest marketing variable and also the easiest to copy. While setting up the price of a product or service, the following consideration have to be remembered. First is nature of the product or service. The second one is the price of comparable product or service in the market. For example, yung electric fan. Magkano ba yung halaga nito sa market? Mostly magkano ba siya nagre-range? Something like that. Kailangan natin i-consider yung mga bagay na yon. The third one is target audience or for whom the product is manufactured, such as a high, medium, or lower class. Like, for example, again, yung electric fan. Mostly, ito yung mga nasa lower class to medium class. 'Di ba? Sila yung mga madalas gumagamit ng electric fan. Kasi pagdating sa mga high class, ito na yung mga gumagamit ng aircon. So, ibig sabihin, sa electric fan, ang target market natin is lower to medium class. Pang-apat na dapat i-consider is yung mga gastos natin sa production such as labor cost, raw material cost, machinery cost, inventory cost, transit cost, and so on. So, dyan po papasok yung mga gastos sa materyales. Panglima, external factors such as economy, government policies, legal issues, and so on. So, mga business permit, something like that. Let's proceed on different perspective on price. So, we have 2, the customer's view and the society's view. First is the customer's view. Siyempre sila yung isang nagsisik ng satisfaction dun sa binili nilang produkto or service. Or sila yung nagsisik na kung bibili nila yung produkto mo, ano ba yung makukuha nila dun? Siyempre, yung mga customers natin, nag-a-analyze din yan. Kung yung produkto ba ay pasok sa kanilang budget at kung magbabayad sila ng malaki, assured ba natin sila na sobrang quality yung mabibigay nating produkto sa kanila? Next is society's view. Dito naman, ginagamit ng lipunan ang presyo upang kontrolin ang kanilang kalusugan pang ekonomiya. For example, sa US, mataas yung cost of living nila. Even yung healthcare nila, syempre maaapektuhan. Ang nangyayari, hindi lahat ng mamamayan nagkakaroon ng chance para magpa-check up dahil wala silang kakayahang pinansyal or hindi nila afford ang magpa-check up. Dun pa lang nagkakaroon na ng hindi pagkapantay-pantay sa pag-a-access ng healthcare. Good news sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, isa tayo sa may mababa o may libreng mga healthcare facilities na pwede nating lapitan. So, meron tayong mga public hospitals na pwede nating puntahan para makamura tayo. And yon ay pasok na pasok sa budget ng mga mamamayan. At lahat pwede mag-access nito. Next, here is why price is very important. First is profit margins. The price set for a product or service affects the profit margin per unit sold. Siyempre, the more na mas malaki yung benta nila, the more na mas malaki yung kita nila. However, higher prices may result to lower sales. Siyempre, doon papasok yung kung sino ba yung audience natin, kung sino lang ba yung makaka-afford dun sa product natin. And alam naman natin na hindi lahat afford yung mga matataas ang presyo. Like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, etc. Second is sales volumes. This is the most noticeable effects of pricing in business. Siyempre, ito yung mas kapansin-pansin, 'di ba? Lalo na kapag may mga regular customers na tayo. Lalo na kapag tumaas yung presyo or bumaba. Kapag tumaas, syempre questionable yun sa kanila. At kapag bumaba, inisip nila baka lower na yung quality. Something like that. That's why it is better to test the market's response to price increase by means of changing prices in targeted area before setting up comprehensive price increase. So, syempre, para hindi magulat yung mga buyers natin sa biglaang pagtaas, kailangan muna natin mag-conduct ng research kung ano ba yung magiging effect nun sa kanila. And baka mag-lead yun sa lower sales nila. The third one is position. Dito po pumapasok yung product positioning. For example, yung Necotion. Yung Necotion po ay naging leading sa Pilipinas bilang pinakamura, affordable na glutathione capsule dito sa Pilipinas na may napakaraming benefits sa ating katawan. Dito, mas na-attract yung mga buyers na bumili kasi bukod sa mura na, marami pang health benefits silang makukuha. Kaya madalas, nagkakaroon din sila ng out of stock or nauubusan sila ng stock dahil sa dami ng mga naggustong mag-avail nito. Pang-apat naman po is yung market share. The price set for a product or service makes it relatively competitive in the marketplace. Dito nagkakaroon ng kakumpetensya. Kumbaga, kung magkano yung presyo sa kabila, binababaan niya sa kanya para instead na bumili sa kabila, sa kanila na lang bibili ng produkto. Panglima is loss leaders. Dito, binababaan ng isang business yung set price dun sa product or service ng mas mababa para makakuha ng maraming customers. For example, yung mga restaurants, pinapanatili nilang mababa yung presyo ng kanilang mga pagkain upang mas marami pang kumain sa kanila at the same time hindi mawala yung customers nila at magpatuloy ang kanilang business. That's all po. Let's proceed to the next reporter.
Hi ma'am, my name is Mahina Elaine. My topic is pricing objective. We have 5 types of pricing objective. First, survival. Second, maximum current profit. Third, maximum market share. Fourth, market scamming. And last, product quality leadership. Survival put into play is situation where a business need to price it a level that will just allow it to stay in business and cover essential costs. Maximum current profit. A price setting objective in which organization set a price for a product that will give maximum profit, cash flow, or return on investment in the short term without regard to long performance. Maximum market share. A company may push an objective of increasing or maximizing market share. This makes sense, especially if a company feels it can achieve lower unit costs with higher volume, by increasing by, by increasing long-term profit. Skimming means setting high price initially to target those that are willing to pay the high price to attract the more price-sensitive customer. Product quality leadership. Companies that provide high quality product relative to the competition often try to position themselves as the product quality leader. Price strategies. A business can use a variety of pricing strategies when selling product or service. There are four key pricing strategies being used by majority of companies in all types of industry, namely premium pricing, penetration pricing, economy pricing, and price scamming. Premium pricing, high price now, high price in the future. Penetration pricing, low price now, high price in the future. Pricing scamming, high price now, low price in the future. Loss leader, low price now, low price in the future.
Setting the price of a product. Ang setting the price of a product ay isang process kung saan tinutukoy nito ang halaga ng bawat products na ibinebenta sa kanilang mga customers. Dito ay gumagamit sila ng iba't ibang factors such as production cost, market demand, competition, and desired profit margins. So, ang goal nito is to find a price that is attractive to their customers. So, sa pagtatakda ng price para sa kanilang products ay mahalaga para sa tagumpay ng isang business. Consideration in price settings. Choosing a pricing strategies for a product can be threatening because there is a lot riding on it. This task can be tackled by breaking it down using these 5 considerations. So, the first consideration is cost. So, what is cost? Ang cost ay tumutukoy sa kabuuang halaga ng nagastos mo sa isang business. Kasama na dito yung mga material, transportations, at marami pang iba. For example, nag-business ka ng flowers bouquet. So, ang lahat ng nagastos mo para sa iyong business is 3,000 pesos. What is price? Ang price naman, ito yung halaga or price na itinakda sa isang product or services. For example, ang benta mo sa isang flowers bouquet is 1.5 at nakagawa ka ng 5 pieces ng flowers bouquet. What is gross profit target? Ang gross profit target ay percentage ng kita na nais na maabot para sa bawat item or sa products. So, layunin nito na makamit ang minimum na kita na inaasahan mo para sa iyong negosyo. So, paano nga ba makukuha ang gross profit target? Ito ang formula para makuha ang gross profit target. Gross profit target equals price minus cost divided by price. So, let's calculate the gross profit target. So, gross profit target equals 7,500 minus 3,500 is equal 4,500. Then, 4,500 minus 7,500 is equal to 0.6. Based on the calculation, the gross profit target is 0.6 or 60%. The next of consideration is customers. Bilang isang business owner, dapat pag-aralan ang lahat ng mga customers kung ano ba yung mga needs and wants nila. For example, sa cellphone, tulad ng iPhone, sa mga millennials, kahit mataas yung price ng iPhone is bumibili pa rin sila dahil para sa mga millennials, kapag naka-iPhone ka, is nakakasabay ka sa mga trends. And the next consideration is competitions. Dito naman sa competition, bilang isang business owner, dapat alam mo or kilala mo kung ano ba yung strategy na ginagamit ng iyong kalaban. Paalamin mo kung magkano ba yung price ng bawat item na binebenta nila. Kung alam mong mataas yung price nila, then maganda naman yung quality. As a business owner, pwede mong babaan ng konti yung price ng item mo para sa'yo na sila bumili. Di ba mas mababa yung price and maganda yung quality, mas tatangkilikin yung products mo compared sa iba na mahal. And the last consideration is odd number pricing. Odd number pricing is considered psychological and based on the idea that certain price ranges are more attractive to consumers. Madalas yung strategy na to nakikita natin sa mga mall or supermarket. Kunyari, yung damit is nagkakahalaga siya ng 199.99 pesos. Samantala sa ibang branch is 200 pesos yung price ng damit. Siyempre, as a consumer, mas pipiliin natin yung mababang numbers na kahit na piso or cent lang yung agwat nun, hindi na natin mapapansin yun.
So, good day everyone. My name is Aaron Tuasan and the next topic is all about premium pricing. When we say premium pricing, is a setting a higher price than competitors for a unique brand with a distinct competitive advantage. So, pag sinabi nating premium pricing, ito yung pamamaraan na ginagamit ng isang company or business sa kanilang produkto or serbisyo upang mapataas ang kanilang market, no? Naging advantage din ito sa kanila or sa kanilang mga competitive kasi kahit na sobrang taas ng presyo ng kanilang produkto ay tinatangkilik pa rin ito ng mga customer nila, which is the good thing din kasi kahit mahal yung product na ino-offer nila ay binibigyan din nila ito ng nag-i-invest din sila dito ng malaki para ma-reach nila yung pinaka-quality produkto. Kumbaga, nag-i-invest sila dito ng malaki and then ibinibenta nila din ito ng mas mahal, which is maganda naman din yung quality na nakukuha ni customer. That's what we call premium pricing. Isa sa mga halimbawa ng premium pricing is si Apple, no? Si Apple, alam naman natin na maraming gustong magkaroon ng cellphone, no, na Apple. Kahit na sobrang mahal na ito, is ginugusto pa rin ito ng karamihan, di ba? Yun na nga, mahal siya, but binibili pa rin siya. Bakit? Kasi naibibigay pa rin ni Apple yung good quality ng nare-reach pa rin nila yung expectation ng kanilang customers sa kanilang product, na kahit sobrang mahal is buminibili pa rin nila to, which is may iba-iba silang version nito, which is iPhone 11 pataas, no? Karamihan sa mga gumagamit every latest na labas nila ng brand, ng latest phone nila, is nag-a-upgrade yung iilan na gumagamit ng kanilang mga produkto or ng cellphone na Apple, na after maglabas ng bago, after next year is may bago na naman, ina-upgrade nila yung cellphone nila, na kahit sobrang mahal is pinipili pa rin nila. Ayun yung advantage ng isang company na nagsiset ng na gumagamit ng pamamaraan ng premium pricing, which is hindi lang naman sa mahal ang kanilang product, ito rin naman is naglalabas din sila ng nag-i-invest din sila ng malaki para ma-reach nila yung quality ng kanilang produkto. And sunod is the effect of premium pricing sa company na gumagamit nito. So the first one is early introduction. When you say early introduction, it is a premium pricing can be highly successfully institute when a product is first launched to the market. So sabi, early introduction, sila yung kauna-unahan nag-launch nito sa market, at walang ibang kakompetensya. Kumbaga, unique ang kanilang product, no? And walang nauna or wala silang kasabay sa paglabas ng kanilang product, na kahit sobrang mahal nila ito benta, is inaano pa rin siya ng mga customer, which is wala naman ibang mapagbibilan ng kagaya nito. And next one is the uniqueness. Uniqueness, ito naman is yung pagiging uniqueness ng kanilang produkto, no? Which is tulad nga ng Apple, kahit na sa sobrang dami ng kanilang kakompetensyang mga smartphones, no, which is Samsung, Galaxy, karamihan dito is pinipilit silang gayahin or higitan sa paggawa ng cellphone, pero kahit na ganun is nananatili pa rin sila sa taas, which is nandun kasi yung dito na kasi pumapasok yung pagiging unique ng kanilang product, na kahit sobrang dami pang lumabas na bago is inahanap pa rin yung produkto nila, na every year naglalabas ng bago. Mas sinihigitan pa nila yung nagawa nila in the past few years, no? Kumbaga, nire-renovate pa nila ng mas maganda yung kanilang produkto. And the next one is the luxury product. It's a consumer think that the product is a lavish product and has remarkably high quality or elite design. So when you say luxury product, so dito na pumapasok yung premium pricing, which is si customer is naglalabas siya, no, ng malaking pera sa pagbili ng bagay na yon, which is mahal siya. Syempre, hindi naman niya yung bibilihin ng ganun kamahal, no? Katulad ng mga Rolex, no, Lamborghini. Ito yung mga tinatawag na luxury product, no, which is yung quality of design and elite design. Tulad ng mga Rolex, kadalasan pag binibili ito ng mga consumer, minsan pag once na bibili na ito sa mga seller, minsan nakaupo pa sila sa isang lamesa, and then yung Rolex is nakalagay pa siya sa isang box, and ipinapakita and ini-explain ni seller kung ano yung kagandahan ng produkto nila, ano yung kinaibahan sa iba, and yung ini-explain niya kung bakit ganon kamahal yung product na yun, which is ini-explain niya yung quantity, no, ng produktong yun, no, and that's the luxury products. So next is the strong barriers to entry. So when you say strong barriers to entry, if a company has paid out big sum of money to set up its product as premium merchandise, then the competitors will have to use large amount of money to suit their products in the similar category. So sinasabi dito sa strong barrier to entry, ito yung yung company na gumagamit ng premium pricing is naglalabas siya ng, tulad nga ng sabi ko, is nag-i-invest sila ng malaking pera upang gawin or ma-reach out yung quality ng kanilang produkto para mailagay nila, no, sa market, no, at tangkilikin ng mga consumer. So itong strong barriers to entry, ito na yung barrier nila, no, sa kanilang mga competitors. Kumbaga, paano ba sila hihigitan, no? Paano ba sila hihigitan ng kanilang competitors or mahigitan yung ginagawa nila, which is kakailangan din nilang mag-invest ng malaki para mailagay din nila sa same category yung kanilang produkto, no? But kahit gawin nila yung ganung bagay is mahihirapan sila, which is hindi naman, kahit sabi mag-invest sila ng mas malaki, kung hindi naman nila magagawa yung katulad ng ginawa ng nauna, wala rin, no? Ayun yung tinatawag na strong barriers to entry. So next is the limited production. So the seller can produce uniqueness through restricting the quantity of product accessible in the marketplace. So limited production, ito yung mga product ng isang company or ng isang seller na limited lang na mabibili or may offer. Kasi kumbaga, tulad ng mga luxury car or luxury na gamit, tulad ng Apple or bags, mga mamahalin Louis Vuitton, na iilan lang yung ginagawa nila na nire-release nila sa market, which is minsan isa lang ito, minsan pinag-aagawan pa ng lahat, no, kahit na sobrang mahal, binibili nila kasi limited lang siya na mabibili nila sa market. So ayun yung tinatawag na limited production. So next is no substitute. When we say no substitute, companies can make it complicated for competitors to fake their products through taking to the lawful procedures every time comparable products come out. So when we say no substitute, dito na pumapasok yung walang kahit sinong makakapalit sa ginagawa ng isang company sa kanilang produkto, na kahit sabihin mong pekein nila to, is malalaman pa rin nila yung pinagkaibahan, no, sa totoong product at sa hindi, no. Kasi katulad ng iPhone, no, maraming gustong gumaya dito, pero alam naman ng mga consumer kung ano yung totoo, which is hindi nila kayang higitan yon. So next is the penetration pricing. Pag sinabing penetration pricing, ito yung strategy na ginagamit ng isang business, no, upang makakuha sila ng mataas na market sa mga customer, or makakuha sila ng mga bagong customer. So ginagawa tong penetration pricing sa pamamaraan na ibinababa nila yung presyo nila sa umpisa, para makahakot sila ng mga customer, no. For example, no, yung mga inasal, alam naman natin dati yung sa umpisa is yung mga inasal is mura pa lang siya. Kung matatanda natin, nasa 99 pesos pa lang siya. May chicken and may chicken and only rice ka na. Ngayon, sa paglipas ng panahon is tumataas na yung presyo nila, no, kasi marami nang tumatangkilik and sumisikat na yung fast food chain nila sa merkado, na kahit taasan na yung presyo nila is pinipilahan pa rin sila ng mga customer nila, kasi naipakita naman nila na sulit naman yung binibili ng customer, which is masarap naman kahit na tumaas pa rin yung presyo. Well, may times na umaangal yung mga customer nila na nagtataas na yung presyo nila, pero wala naman na silang magagawa doon, kasi yun na yun part ng strategy nila. Ayun yung tinatawag na penetration pricing.
Good day everyone, I'm Melody Arcakayan and my topic is about economy pricing. So in economy pricing strategy, businesses reduce the cost related with marketing and production so that product prices can be kept to a minimum. So as a consequence, customers can buy the products they need without add-ons. Most generic food suppliers and discount retailers use this to draw the most price sensitive of consumers. So economy pricing is a strategy where businesses minimize the cost associated with production and marketing, which is inaalaw nila na babaan yung price ng isang product. So this strategy is particularly attractive to price-sensitive customers who are primarily concerned with the cost of the product rather than brand recognition or added features. So imagine a company that makes peanut butter. So to make a profit selling peanut butter with economy pricing, they'll focus on keeping everything as inexpensive as possible. For example, using simpler packaging like yung clear plastic jar. Instead na branded glass jar yung gamitin nila, mas pipiliin nila yung mas mababang presyo. So they focus on using efficient production methods to cut costs. So by cutting this cost, pwede nila ibenta yung peanut butter for much less than a name brand. This can attract customers na concerned about sa price. So next is price skimming. So as a strategy happens when a company sets a temporarily high price for a product or service, particularly during the introductory phase because it has a substantial competitive advantage. However, the advantage is likely not to be stable. Early adopters are those who are ready to shell out a higher price to have the newest or finest product in the market. So price skimming is the opposite of economy pricing. It's a strategy where a business sets a high price for a new product when it first launches and then gradually lowers the price over time. Yung primary target for price skimming are the early adopters, individuals na willing to pay a premium para maging first to own ng bagong product or service. So, habang tumatagal or nagiging common yung product, mag-o-offer or maglo-launch ng same products yung competitor nila. So, ang tendency is bababaan nila yung price to attract a broader customer base. So, Apple company na gumagamit ng price skimming when a new iPhone model is released, it is typically mataas yung presyo ng value nito. Early adopters who are often loyal Apple customers and tech enthusiasts are willing to pay this high price to get the latest technology. So, as time goes by on and newer models are introduced, yung price ng older models is nababawasan.
Good day everyone, I'm Christine Manyoso from BSBA 3A, one of the reporters of group number 8. Psychology pricing, also known as price ending, is a pricing strategy that uses specific pricing points such as 299 instead of 300 to influence consumer perception and behavior. It's based on the idea that consumers are more likely to perceive a product as being cheaper when the price is just below a round number, even though the actual difference may be minimal. This strategy is often used to make products appear more affordable and to encourage impulse purchases. So basically, bundling is used effectively by companies that trade complementary products. For example, mobile phone retailers normally bundle the price of several products and services together for their new customers. They bid the phone itself with a package that also consists of the two-year phone plan, internet connection, and phone charger. This bundle benefits the customer because it gives them every tool they need for their phone. At the same time, it also benefits the mobile phone retailer since they're selling the customer additional products and services other than simply a phone. Product line pricing is a pricing strategy where a company sets prices for a range of product in its line based on the perceived value they offer. This strategy involves pricing different products within the same line at different price points to capture the maximum value from customers willing to pay more for premium features or benefits. For example, a technology company might offer a basic, standard, and premium version of a product, each priced differently based on the features and quality. This allows the company to appeal to different customer segments with varying price sensitivities and willingness to pay. Optional product pricing, a popular example of this strategy is the airline industry. Historically, majority of airlines charge higher ticket prices but allowed customers with a limited number of bags free of charge and free in-flight snacks. These days, particularly, Badger Airlines offer tickets that are generally priced fairly low. However, nowadays they charge some additional fees for snacks, headphone use, checking kennels for pets, a window or aisle seat reservation, added luggage or extra legroom, and many other things. The fees they charge are not small either. One of the examples of captive product pricing is the sale of video game consoles. The consoles themselves are often sold at a relatively low price or even at a loss, especially at the launch of a new generation. However, the console manufacturers make up for this loss or lower profit margin by selling accessories like controllers, additional storage, and subscription services like online gaming membership at higher prices. These accessories and services are essential for a complete gaming experience, effectively making the consoles the captured products and the accessories the captive products. Promotional pricing is artificially lowering the price of a product or service to enhance value through time-based scarcity perception. When products are perceived as scarce, they are more given importance than plentiful ones. Hence, this strategy is short-term. An example of promotional pricing is when a retailer offers buy one get one free products. In this situation, a customer buys one unit of a product and gets a second one free. Likewise, companies may offer promotions like buy two get the third one free. Promotional pricing could also be in the forms of money off vouchers and discounts. Geographical pricing is regulating a product sale price anchored in location to reflect shipping or satisfy the market clearing price in that place. There are several geographical pricing strategies, which are: number one is point of production pricing. This is the most commonly used strategy when it comes to geographic pricing. Here, the seller estimates the selling price at the point of production. The buyer, on the other hand, chooses the transportation mode and pay all the freight costs. Number two is the uniform delivered pricing. The delivered same price is estimated to all buyers, not considering their locations. This strategy is sometimes known as postage stamp pricing because of its resemblance to how the first-class mall service is priced. Third one is zone pricing. In this strategy, prices raise as shipping distances increase. At times, concentric circles are drawn on a map with a plant or warehouse at the midpoint. Each circle defines the border of a price zone. Sometimes, in place of circles, irregularly shaped price boundaries are used. Freight absorption pricing. A seller may agree to shoulder portion of the freight cost to enter remote markets. Here, a manufacturer shall estimate to the customer a delivered price equivalent to its factory price and add a freight cost that would be asked by a competitor situated near that customer. In contrast with other forms of pricing which are anchored only on numerical data, value-based pricing observes at the factors consumers think about when making a value assessment. By means of seeing what measures the consumer uses in its value decision, the company obtains a better idea of what are important to the consumer and the motivations he has for buying. Knowing consumers facilitates marketing teams to devise more effective sales strategies and employ definite marketing tactics.
Price adjustment is an indispensable component of the marketing strategy of every company. It has a direct influence on the customer buying behavior, business, and on the economy in general. Price for the customer is a key of design of good quality product and an essential aspect in deciding to buy as well. So thus price strategy is most imperative and significant part of a marketing strategy. So price adjustment are changes made to the price of a product or service based on market conditions, cost of production, competitive landscape, or other factors. So this adjustment pwedeng bumaba or tumaas yung presyo ng isang product. Yung goal dito is ma-maximize yung profitability, ma-maintain yung market share, at ma-ensure yung customer satisfaction. So, sa seasonal discounts, maraming business na ang nag-a-adjust ng prices based sa season of the year. For example, is yung clothing retailers na nag-offer sila ng discounts on winter clothes at the end of the winter season para ma-clear out sa inventory ang and make room for spring collection. So, yung quantity discount is a common price adjustment strategy na gumagamit ng wholesalers or bulk retailers. Yung price per unit ng product is bumababa as the quantity purchase increases. For example, yung customer bumili ng $5 for single unit of product. Pag bumili sila ng 10 units, so yung price might be reduced to $4 per unit. So, this strategy is ine-encourage nila yung customer na bumili in larger quantities. So, we have here a common reasons to raise prices, which include the inflation. During times of inflation, companies necessitate increasing prices to sustain profitability. So, during times of inflation, need ng companies na mag-increase ng prices para ma-maintain yung profitability. So, inflation leads to higher cost of production such as raw materials, labor, and overhead expenses. So, to offset this increased cost and maintain profit margins, business may raise their prices. So, let's say na bakery experiences a significant increase in the cost of ingredients, so such as yung flour, sugar, and butter. So, due to inflation, para ma-sustain yung profitability, nag-decide yung bakery na mag-increase ng prices of its baked goods. So, yung increased cost, when production cost for the companies swell, they are expected to increase their prices to make up for the change in cost. So, when a company's production cost rise significantly, they may be compelled to increase their prices to compensate for the change. So, this could be due to factors such as increased material cost, transportation cost, or regulatory compliance cost. So, imagine yung technology company na nagmamanufacture ng smartphone. So, if the cost of manufacturing components such as yung processors and memory chips rises due to increased demands or scarcity, so yung company may need to raise the prices of its smartphones para ma-cover yung higher production cost nila. For example, yung smartphone that originally cost $500. So, maybe now priced at $600 to compensate for the increased cost. So, here are some reasons for a decrease in prices. Like yung answer to competitors changes. So, if a competitor drastically lowers its price, yung company may require doing similarly to continue to be competitive. So, if yung competitor drastically lowers its prices, so yung company may need to respond by reducing its own prices, so to remain competitive. So, this strategy aims to retain existing customers and attract new ones who are price sensitive. So, by matching or offering lower prices, companies strive to maintain or gain market share in the face of intense competition. So, example is yung retail clothing company. They are faces intense competition from their rival brand na nag-offer ng similar products at significantly lower prices. So, in response, yung company is magde-decide na babaan yung price to remain competitive. Pwede nila bawasan o babaan yung prices na mga clothing items nila by 20% para mag-match or ma-undercut yung competitors' prices para maka-attract na mga price conscious customers. So, center on growth, companies may reduce their prices to enhance their market share or to support growth of the market as a whole. So, companies may choose to decrease their prices to stimulate market growth or support the expansion of their customer base. So, lower prices can attract new customers na naghe-hesitate mag-purchase ng higher price points. So, this strategy aims to increase market penetration and capture a larger share of the market. So, example dito yung streaming services, provider na gusto mag-expand ng customer base and increase market share. Para ma-achieve yun, they decided na babaan yung subscription prices for a limited time. So, by offering a discounted price or a promotional offer such as 30% price reduction for new subscribers. So, yung company is ini-aim to attract para makahakot ng more customer and stimulate market growth. So, reduced cost at as production costs, zinc companies can decide to drop off their prices also, which may make them more competitive while making better their perception amongst customers. So if a company production costs decrease, they may decide to pass on those savings to customer by lowering their prices. So this can make the company more competitive in the market and improve their perception among customers. So it can also help drive sales and increase customer loyalty. So let's say yung solar panel manufacturer experiences a significant decrease in the cost of solar cells. So due to advancement in technology and economies of scale, so para mapass on the cost savings sa customer and remain yung competitive, yung manufacturer nag-decide na babaan yung prices ng solar panels. So they may reduce the prices by 15% to make their product more affordable and appealing to potential buyers.